Has been a huge issue here with Winter Storm Grayson. You're looking at some new video, and this is from Brant Rock, Massachusetts. There have been a number of rescues, too, that have taken place. For example, in Chatham, Massachusetts, at least 35 rescues of people stuck in their car in these icy waters. Now, we have passed high tide in many of these locations, but not before reaching near or at record levels. Well, on the phone right now, we want to get in touch here with Chris Peak, Charles Peak. He's in Hull, Massachusetts, one of our storm trackers. Are you with us? Good morning or good afternoon.
Yeah, Jackie, it's been crazy. We can't figure out what time it is.
I know it's been a long storm, but we still have a long way to go. Give us an idea of what conditions are like where you are and what you're seeing.
Well, I came up here about an hour ago. It's been whiteout conditions most of the time for probably the last 3 or 4 hours coming up from Providence. And then came to the coastal area here at Hull, and the homes, the condos, and the vehicles right along the coast here are flooded in about 3 or 4 foot of water. And one lady drove into it. She was able to get out, had to walk through the freezing water to do it, but she was okay.
Wow, I can't imagine what it would be like. I mean, not only to be just caught in a flooding situation like that, but with the water so icy, so dangerous across the region. Tell us, how is the water levels now? Are you seeing much for recession?
No, it stayed about the same. Initially, it pulled back about 2 feet, but it stayed about like that. And I talked to one resident. He said he's lived here since 2007 and never seen it this bad before.
Do you know how far inland that water goes?
I would say probably a quarter of a mile in this location. There's several high-rise homes and condos right in this particular area. And
has everybody been able to get out then safely?
I haven't come across anybody that's been in danger. Some of them have gone to the higher floors. I was told that I didn't verify it, that the police department's flooded too here. So it's pretty widespread right in this location.
Yeah. Talk to us about the winds. You know, the winds have been pushing that water in and just howling. We're getting lots of reports of people losing power as a result. How powerful has that wind been there?
I would say here, at least 50 miles an hour. A little while ago, it's not quite as strong at the moment, but made it very difficult to even video or get it because all the snow coming at you at 50 miles an hour.
Right. Well, we know that you stop in order to do the live interview with us, but in your experience driving, what has that been like in terms of the wind and visibility and snow coming down?
There's been a couple of times that because of visibility, I've had to just stop because it was probably less than 20 feet, and you couldn't even see where the road was. All
right. Well, we ask that you stay safe, Charles Peak. We appreciate that report. So there you can see some of the coastal flooding and issues that we've been having in parts of Massachusetts. And speaking of Massachusetts, that's been a problem in Boston as well. And then we're going to go back to Alex Wilson, who's live there. Alex, how are things in Boston now?
Things in Boston are getting very interesting. We have seen those winds really pick up in intensity. We've seen some people out here. In fact, this guy, once we're done, I think we'll go help him. He's having some trouble. He's doing the rock back and forth thing to try to get out of the snow. He was actually delivering a pizza to somebody here at the Boston Harbor Hotel in his Prius. He's actually got this. He's from the area, so he knows how to get himself up and going. But we're watching people struggle because, at this point, we've already seen about 6.5 inches of snow come, and so the plows, they've been out there, and they create these little mini hills in the middle of the roadway from where the blades obviously scoop all the snow to the side, and that makes it troublesome for cars like that Prius to get through. But like I said, he delivered a pizza. He got himself out. He's still driving around in this Prius. The visibilities here are terrible, to say the least. At times, at or below a quarter of a mile. We've seen those winds at times today gusting to 40 miles an hour. I think those numbers have gone up. I've been checking for observation, so we'll likely see that go up. And we could see wind gusts today 50 to 60 miles per hour here in Boston. We are in downtown Boston. This is the financial district. This is Atlantic Avenue. This is an area that's usually this
All right, obviously you're going to have some technical difficulties from time to time, but let's talk about this incredible storm, the central pressure of which is now down in the low 950s. Now, by comparison, Hurricane Sandy got down to 940, so this is among the strongest storms that we have seen in this region of the world, an incredibly strong system. Now getting our last look at the core of the storm, last visible images of the day. It's starting to get dark, and you've got still a tremendous amount of snow that is coming down in New England in particular. And look at the wind that we have seen so far today. 87 miles per hour. That was in Charlestown in Rhode Island. That is unbelievable. 76 in Nantucket. And that wind has been piling up the water, pushing very large waves against the shore. The water rise now down considerably from what we saw at high tide in Boston. It was the second highest on record, just shy of the all-time record there in Boston. We've also got a water level rise of about 2 feet near Portland, and ongoing alerts there, coastal flood warnings and flood advisories through the rest of today. Here's a look at the radar picture. The snow is now beginning to contract in Maryland and Virginia, but we've still got a terrific amount of wind, still gusting to 37 at National Airport. That's not going away anytime soon. It's going to continue right through tonight. We've had an amazing near foot of snow in Ocean City, not too much there in Baltimore and D.C., and again, it's winding down. Farther to the north, right now, winds gusting to 40 miles per hour in Philadelphia. We've had about a foot of snow in Ocean County in New Jersey thus far, up into Montauk, gusting to 37, 41 in Boston, 55 in Nantucket. A lot of reports of heavy snow here. 5 inches LaGuardia, 8.7 in Cheshire in Connecticut. But then we've had 10 inches in West Warwick and 8 inches in Cohasset, and a good bit more on the way. Also heavy snow along that 95 corridor, very gusty up into Portland as well. So going forward, what we're expecting is that most of the heaviest of the snow is going to be in northern New England. Otherwise, it's going to be a few to several inches New Jersey, as well as southern New England, and back into parts of New York State as well. But of course, the wind has been the story with this storm. We want to go to Reynolds Wolf, who is in Plymouth, Massachusetts. And Reynolds, the reports that we've been seeing of the coastal flooding have really been amazing. Reports of cars being submerged, that kind of thing. What have you seen so far?
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to show you that in just a second. I want to ask you a quick question, Carl, while I got you, about the winds really fast. When can we expect the wind to actually die down a bit in Plymouth and right along the coastline? And any idea?
I'll tell you, it's going to be quite a while. I mean, it might be really the weekend before we see them completely go away, but they'll be very strong through tonight, still gusting 50, 60 miles per hour in the Boston metro area right through late tonight, and by tomorrow morning, still 30, 40 miles per hour.
Okay, you answered my question, so I'm going to answer yours real fast, Carl. Okay, so where we happen to be here in Plymouth, you're asking about the flooding on the coast. It's a situation that has improving considerably. Bill, you're the man behind the camera. If you can show our viewers the parking lot, where just a short while ago, the whole thing was really covered by plenty of water. Right now, you can see little dry islands that are popping up. And Carl, we actually did have quite a few cars or in trucks that are actually riding around in the lot itself. People curious, you know, they have cabin fever. They want to get out and see what their community happens to look like. And right now, the snow and the wind are still really the main thing, but high tide, which was around 12:47, is beginning its retreat, which is certainly some good news. However, not the retreat before moving into a lot of businesses, a lot of homes, certainly just a wrecking ball, so to speak, a liquid wrecking ball that has been driven by this massive storm. Well, I'll tell you, the situation that we have here has been one of a metamorphosis. We started off the day out here with conditions that were, all things considered, pretty tranquil. I mean, we had clear, well, not clear, but we had cloudy skies and not a trace of snowfall. Some rain showers that came through, and then, I mean, like an avalanche, things began to unfold. Off in the distance, you can still see a couple of odd things. We were actually live by the harbor master hut that you happen to see right out there in the distance. For a while, you had water up to the middle of the door. So we obviously had to take our gear and retreat and move back in. But Alex, crazy times here. The good news report, though, is although the wind is still strong, although the snow is still moving in sideways, horizontal fashion, at least we are seeing the water begin its slow retreat. And that is at least one victory we're happy to take. Alex?
Yeah, that is good news there. We're trying to get an update down at the Long Wharf. We've got a crew there taking a look. Water up higher than people who work in the area have seen it in decades. And reportedly, some of the hotels also dealing with some water there down by the aquarium. We've got much more of our team coverage on Winter Storm Grayson here coming up. I'll, of course, continue the story here in a very snowy Boston. Stay with us.